What's up, good people, and welcome back to the channel today for a special interview. I'm here with my brother Thomas, who is the star of the new film Crater, which is on Disney Plus right now. Folks who's my age, I'm going to tell you right now that this film hits back all the nostalgia, like all of the films that either one I wish I was a part of when I was a kid, or all of the films that we kind of grew up on. It hits all of that. It tells a really good story. It tells a lot of good messages about friendship, and I'm here to break it all down with Thomas today. Thomas, how you feeling today? How you feeling?
I'm feeling awesome. I love that you said that. This is a kind of movie that you wanted to be a part of. Growing up, I always wanted to be on Disney, and this is the kind of movie I always wanted to do on space, on the
Yeah.
moon. It was so much fun.
Yeah, man. And obviously, as a person who wasn't an actor, but obviously had the biggest imagination in the world, this is exactly what I wanted it to be. And then if I had my opportunity, I would imagine, like, yeah, certainly I wanted to be in space, and whatever space was going to look like, I would have been cool. But the fact, here's where I really fell in love with this film. And obviously kudos to you and your cast members and shall I say friends at this point. Not only did you all get to live out your wildest and biggest dreams here with this film, but like you have a legitimate production. This space production here wasn't just like it's a bunch of kids in space, make it look like space, let it go. Like this felt big time. I'm talking about like the likes of films like Gravity, like Interstellar. Like the production felt really, really, really solid. And I think that by looking at it, I think for sure everybody can just tell, like, listen, Disney, when they bring it big, and I'm sure that has to be such an amazing feel to see a project and something you want to be a part of just be produced in the way it did, because it looks fantastic. Long before you even talk about anything, just the looks of the film is amazing. So I would love to know just your reaction, man, the first time you sat back and watched it and was like, man, this is nuts.
No, yeah, I was shocked because this film was kind of like the first big production I ever got to be a part of. I came from doing local theater here in Houston,
Yeah.
doing shows like Spelling Bee and things like that. So this was like a huge dream come true for me. So yeah, man, it was completely shocking. All the things that we were doing, seeing the huge sets, all of this was filmed in a sound stage at Celtic Studios, Baton Rouge, and it was just wild.
Yeah. And again, congratulations, man. You're really just getting started in your career, and you're getting it going the right way. The character Marcus, and honestly, all of the characters is a little bit of all of us. I love seeing this camaraderie amongst these kids, and the challenges, and just the scope of what adulting looked like, and being very transparent with one another about their challenges and their struggles, and whatnot. Like, there's a lot. I feel like this film has a lot of like study pieces for all ages. There's a lot we can learn from it. Before we actually get right into that, I would like to know, amongst your cast members, talking about Isaiah, McKenna, and Billy, and so on, just what were some of the conversations you all were having as you all started to build these characters?
That's really interesting. No one's ever asked me a question like that. I remember in the beginning of filming, we all met up because we all kind of stayed in the same area. We all had these different rooms in this apartment complex, and um, I remember we met up in Isaiah's apartment, and we just really talked about how important it was for friendship to be a big part of this story, so that it would be organic between all of us, and hanging out so often because it was crazy. We filmed from like 7 a.m. to like maybe 6, and then from 6 to like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., we were hanging out with each other. We just could not get enough of each other. So we wanted that friendship to be organic and transparent when watching.
Yeah. I was a little surprised. I was like, I bet you they've been friends for a long time. And I started digging a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, they don't have much of a history together here, but and I can honestly tell that by the performances here, because like, yeah, I get it. In terms of filmmaking, you're given the script, you're a professional, you do your job, and you try to make it the best you can. But like, as you said, and as I was going to say, there's parts of this that is just too organic for anybody to just write, that doesn't come with actual friendship with it, which you obviously can tell by the work of you all bonding with each other. Really showed on screen. I enjoyed that a lot. Like obviously Isaiah's story as Caleb is a big part of what this film is about. But I just enjoy just these kids sharing their challenges, their struggles, and I think that that wasn't such a normal thing when I was a kid. You know, we had our struggles, but it was deemed weak or whatever in terms of showing that. And I loved how everybody was very open and honest about like, I'm feeling this way, and even joking with each other, you know, still making sure that there was moments y'all all uplifted each other. So if I may ask here, is this was this sort of a narrative that you all wanted to create to help this generations and generations to come about what does it truly mean to have friends?
Absolutely. The narrative for us was really just being in the moment and the importance of friendship, and to, you know, you only get so much time with everyone. I mean, think about how many friends you had from middle school and high school. I mean, how many of those people are you close friends with now? You know, it's the most important aspect of this film is that you know, these friendships and these relationships don't last forever. So appreciate it while you have it.
Yeah. I need you to help me out a little bit here, man. Again, I enjoyed this film, but the last part of the film was really, really hard to watch. God, I was so sad, man, because I wasn't ready for them to say bye to each other and to see, and like, you know, I started to think about, you know, when I left for college and what does that mean to my friends I had while I was with in high school. And obviously years didn't pass here, you know, but like still, you know, distance was a factor. And before the internet was the internet at the time, you know, it was kind of like, where will our friendship go? What sort of a message you can give to the audience about the conclusion of this film as we see Caleb now leaving his friend? Time has passed. Just the part that really had me at tears, the messages that y'all left over the years and hearing everybody maturing through the time. It was amazing story time, but I was so sad, and I was like, I cannot believe I didn't see that coming for an ending here. But what would be something you would tell the audience in terms of just how to like really take in that moment?
You know, that's really interesting. You know, Crater is, you know, in a lot of ways, a lot darker than you see the average, you know, Disney film. That ending, it's sad because honestly, they don't really get a goodbye. You know,
No.
I mean, Isaiah wakes up and everybody's gone. But and it's funny you mentioned you going off to college, because I'm about to graduate. In fact, I walk the stage Wednesday of next week.
Okay, congratulations, young scholar.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I believe I'm someone that hates goodbyes. And I think in this film and in life, sometimes you don't need one. I mean, what I think is so beautiful is that they'll always have the memories of one another.
Yeah.
You know, some of these friends have known each other for years. I mean, obviously excluding Addison, but I mean, Addison and I mean, I don't think a goodbye was necessary for them. I think they had they had this great adventure. They ended it on a high note, and they had all these years before. I would say that it's more important to cherish your memories with your friends and loved ones. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you know, a lot of folks are going to you know, find moments to really relate to this because whether it's college, whether it's, you know, friends who are in the military and their families got to be stationed somewhere else. I mean, there's moments I just kept thinking about like, like you know, we went through this, but like I guess it's seeing it in a way. And then obviously when you see the Disney banner, you're thinking like, oh, they're going to send us off in a very happy and positive way. And I was like, God, that was sad because you know, just to see the friendship build over all that time, and then it was kind of like a whoops, and now we're here type of thing, and then the messages to one another to Caleb after a while was just it was just a lot. To turn the mood just a little bit here, Kid Cudi, come on now, one of my favorite artists. I can imagine you have a fandom with him as well. What is it like having somebody like Kid Cudi on set, sir?
No, he is He is amazing. I remember when I found out that he was going to be in the movie. It was over Zoom. It was me and the director Kyle Patrick Alvarez, and I was so shocked and excited. It was great to meet him. Obviously, in watching the film, he and I never got to share the screen together. But days that he was filming, I would like sneak in and watch it for a little bit. He's terrific. I think he's one of the greatest, definitely one of the greatest artists turn actors that we have. He's terrific.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a few more questions in there really quick. What sort of y'all friendships now? You and the cast members or your friends. Now after this is done, this has been released. What's sort of been like the communication and I know y'all got to have a group chat. What's kind of going on in there right now?
No, we definitely have a group chat for sure on WhatsApp. But no, it's kind of interesting. In a lot of ways, the ending of the film is kind of how it ended for all of us. We'd spent 3 months all together in Baton Rouge, Monday through Friday, and then we played paintball on the weekends. I mean, we spent so much time with one another. And Isaiah was the one that had a whole week of filming whenever all of us were wrapped. I think he went to Iceland. Yeah, he went to Iceland and filmed, but all of us were done. So in a way, it kind of ended for us how it ended in the film. And, all we had was messages. I mean, all of us are so spread around. Worson's in New York, McKenna's in LA, Billy's in London, everybody's so spread apart. But sometimes, whenever we can, we hop on a group FaceTime and chat it up for a little bit as much as our schedules will allow it.
That's right. I mean, listen, y'all are the stars of the future now, and I think this is absolutely a knockout of the ballpark production for everybody involved here, and I'm absolutely looking forward to what's next. And with your character Marcus, man, how much of this character is has similar traits to yourself, Thomas?
That's funny that it's funny that you also said knock out of the ballpark. I don't know if that was no pun intended. At the end, Marcus ends up starting a baseball league, but I'm not gonna lie, man. Me and Marcus could not be more different. Marcus is very kind of soft and he doesn't talk a lot, and he doesn't have a lot of he's very emotional, but he doesn't really speak out a lot. I talk. I love to talk. I have a big presence. Marcus is kind of someone that kind of follows the herd and the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I love about Marcus is how unbelievably selfless he is. I think that is one of his traits that I wish I had just as much as he did. Marcus is an incredibly nurturing and selfless character.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I was very thrilled for opportunity to talk to you because Marcus was one of my favorite characters, because I think there is a lot of Marcuses in one's circle that sometimes get overlooked. But you brought up exactly the quality I was going to mention in terms of him just being selfish. And again, some of these slanders back in the day is that person is a pushover and da 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 da. But no, this person was absolutely had the key to the future in terms of how more people should be if we're going to move society in the right direction. Which I was just like, yeah, Marcus in my team. That's for a fact. If I had to draft, I'm Marcus on my squad. Forget that.
Marcus appreciates it.
And you're selfish too, man. Now that I got a chance to talk to you and get to know you, man. And again, just very impressed with how far you've come so quickly in your career, and still a lot more time. Again, you're graduating next year, so now that you got the school, the first part of school thing done, now you're stepping into the real world a little bit more. And you got college waiting for you, and you got more and more films and television waiting for you, man. You already got it all figured out at this rate, but still got so much more to learn. I'm super excited to see where you go from here, man. I did hear that potentially that there may be a part of you back in your day that potentially had been a wrestling fan here. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the idea here at Big O Bell Media that you like some wrestling back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like that the wrestling fan in you never dies. In middle
Never.
school is kind of whenever I got introduced to professional wrestling, and
Yeah.
man, I fell in love with it. And I think it was because I was so into acting and I was so into performance that I got it. I feel like a lot of people don't get it, but I got it. It spoke to me, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. You sometimes you just can't shake certain things when you're a kid. And here I am still loving
Right.
it. And as you said, man, for anybody who likes film and television, character, superhero comic books, it's professional wrestling is nothing but that. There's an athletic side to it as well, too. And and
Absolutely.
then and then I got to give you a moment to to something that just blew my mind about here, folks. Now, my pro wrestling folks that's watching this right now, you may have just heard the news just earlier in May that WWE made a huge signing, an Olympic gold medalist who we've seen had an appearance at WrestleMania about 2 years ago now, and now officially signing to the WWE, which you're probably wondering, why am I bringing this up right now? Why am I bringing this up right now, Thomas?
Tamira Mensah-Stock is my cousin, actually. So all of these WWE things, I read it all in the family group chat. I see it. I find out everything that happens through there. It's so crazy. Some people will tell me stuff that I don't even know. Like I haven't even read that in the group chat yet. You know, I'm like everybody else. My group chat, my family group chat is muted. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
No shame, brother. No shame. Me too.
Yeah, you know, yeah, she signed us to the WWE, and yeah, that's my cousin, man. I love professional wrestling. Whenever she was wrestling, it was kind of always a conversation whether she would sign to the WWE, and I would like to say that I personally was part of the, kind of, getting her to pushing her into that direction,
Yeah.
kind of convincing her a little bit to join the WWE because I was such a huge fan. I had all the video games and the 2Ks and all of it.
Yeah, man. If I understood correctly, that's Marcus traits here. Trying to see their friends be their better selves, right? And in this case,
Right.
family, right? uh,
Absolutely.
Besides graduation next week, again, congratulations, man. Again, I will be keeping my eyes on the projects that you are attached to. But is there anything at this current time you may be able to hint a wink at that you're working on, or maybe coming down the pipeline very soon?
Man, right now I've just been, I've been writing a lot. I've been kind of trying to produce and create some of my own films and projects and things like that. So, soon I'll be able to let you guys know and what I'm doing there. And I don't know, you guys might catch me at WrestleMania. I guess we'll just have to see, man. We'll just have
If
to
you
see. I'll
did,
keep y'all
if
posted
you
for sure.
if you dare, I'm there, brother. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm absolutely rooting for you, man. And I think that that's really brilliant of you to get on a Disney project, which some people like, oh, I made it. And you're just like, no. I still got to put in the work here. And you writing and producing your own
Absolutely.
stuff is the way to go. And one thing's for sure, when you're in Disney, you're always in the Disney family. But hey, you still got to put in your work and do your own projects and have your own vision. That for sure, I'm going to be looking out for. So
Absolutely. Hey, before we leave, man, and I have to ask you. I don't speak to or know just a lot of wrestling fans, but I just have to
yeah.
know what your Mount Rushmore is, man. Because I've had
Oh
this
my
I've had this
God.
debate a couple of times, man. And I know it's a big I've had this debate a couple of times. I just want to know what's your Mount Rushmore looking like? And is John Cena on it or not? I have to know.
I would not have originally put him in there, but without a doubt, he is. It's not even a question. I think between the period of when I stopped watching a lot, when I was definitely in college hard and focused on that, he carried the company. And I think that what he does, both in the ring, what he does outside the ring, and being, he has the most Make a Wish
Right.
deeds done, which is amazing. And obviously, you see him this week at Fast X. I mean, the guy is larger than life, but for sure, John Cena is in there. Do Stone Cold in there.
Okay.
I would do The Rock in there, and then if I had to throw a wild
Okay.
card, I'm going with Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania. Yep.
That's interesting, man. I had a very interesting run in with Shawn Michaels in an airport one time. It went very left. I was, man, I must have been in the eighth grade. I
Yeah.
must have been in the eighth grade, and I went up to Shawn Michaels, and it was him and three other women. I think they were like his family. And I went up. I just actually came. This is my first time in LA. This was when I just started getting into like acting and everything. And I was like, oh my God, Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels. And he didn't turn around. Now this is where it kind of gets crazy. And I was tripping. I will say I was tripping, but I kind of like put my arm on his shoulder and I tried to like turn him around. I promise you this is a true story. And he kind of, fights back. He doesn't turn. And his wife says something to him. She's like, Sean or something. And then he turns around. He's like, what do you want? And I was like, oh man, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. And then I walked away. But it was crazy being able to be in his presence. And because of Tamara, actually at SummerSlam, I met Triple H, and hopefully I'll be able to meet a lot more, man. I love meeting some of these childhood wrestlers that I loved.
Yeah, man. That's an awesome story right there. Well, I know for sure. If I ain't seen you on a red carpet very soon, I'll definitely see you at a big wrestling event, whether it's WrestleMania or Summer stuff. So I'll definitely look forward to meet you in person. But again, man, straight up, congratulations on this film, man. I just like I started this interview off by saying is that like I think just the production alone, I was just wild, and I just could not help but just wanting to put myself in you all's shoes to think like, man, if I was a kid, if I was able to be in the Disney projects, if I was able to be in space, I would want it to look like this. This ain't some campy, whatever version of what. This is the real deal right here. Like I felt like this was amazing. And then y'all did all the things I would have did, playing some space baseball and all sorts of different games.
Mm-hmm.
It just really brought out the child in me. But then again, I said, y'all really did focus on a lot about the morals and messages of friendship, and I think that that just made the overall really, really, really good story. And you all just knocked it out the park, man. And I'm very excited to see where you all go next, and you especially. So, but yeah, until then, be safe. Again, have an amazing time as you cross that stage next week, man. This is just the first big chapter of your life to come, and beyond that too. You already got an amazing movie right now on Disney Plus. Soon as you log on to Disney Plus, soon as you see those sliding decks, you see it right there, folks. You gotta go check this one out. Go get your kids, go get your family, your spouses, whatever. Go sit down and watch it. It's an amazing movie, and you can watch Thomas do his thing on set on the film. Thomas, it's a pleasure to talk to you today, brother.
Thank you so much. It was awesome talking to you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in for this interview. We catch you back for more content very